The clinically depressed, mysterious Lord Craven was probably my first I can fix him. And let's be honest, who wasn't haunted by the incredible performance by John Lynch in the 1993 classic film, The Secret Garden? But today I wanted to explore Lord Craven's character, not so much in the film, but in the book, and discuss how grief and his avoidance of it nearly destroys him. Hey guys, Sarah Kwan here. I am excited to dive into today's topic, and this is going to be more of a character analysis. And as I make these videos, I am doing so with the promise that I can help you with your English homework. I really can. So maybe you've been asked to make a character analysis before. I am going to show you how to do that today. So please like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into it. So firstly, let's introduce our character, Lord Archibald Craven. In Francis Hodgson Burnett's children's classic, The Secret Garden, we follow the life of Mary Lennox. After a cholera outbreak kills her parents, she is sent away from India, where she has been born and raised, and she is sent to live with her only living relative, Lord Archibald Craven. And Lord Craven lives on the Yorkshire moor in a giant sprawling estate called Misselthwaite Manor with a full staff of servants and, unbeknownst to Mary, also with her cousin Colin. Colin is a secret because it is believed that he is so ill that he can't go outside, he can't meet with anyone, he can't handle any kind of excitement. Thus, his existence is kept a secret from Mary, and she believes that she is the only child at the manor. On the journey to this unfamiliar land, she is given some details about her uncle by the housekeeper, Mrs. Medlock. So Mrs. Medlock gives Mary a pretty sad overview of his life. She tells her, your uncle is a hunchback, he has been depressed for the last 10 years after his wife died, and he doesn't see anyone, and he definitely doesn't want to see you. So that's a lot for a 10-year-old to process. And indeed, Lord Craven does not want to see her, at least at first. As we find out, he hardly spends any time at Misselthwaite at all. Instead, he travels throughout Europe and to other exotic destinations, and he does all he can to avoid his home and his only child. Now, why does he do this? Lord Craven is completely consumed by grief. His wife was his life. They loved and adored each other. Before marrying her, he believed that no one was going to love him, but Lilias did. So after losing her tragically and so shortly after the birth of their son, it all but destroys him. He believes that he cannot stay at Misselthwaite, save he be haunted by the memories of her. He believes he cannot spend time with and love Colin because he looks like her and reminds him of her. Lord Craven is completely stuck in the grieving process. We've all heard of the 7 stages of grief: shock, pain, anger, depression, and this is where Lord Craven is stuck. There are 3 more stages to grief, and it's where you start to come up into the healing arc. But Lord Craven has trapped himself in the depression stage. He has headaches, he can't focus, and he doesn't even really enjoy the traveling. He simply does it to escape the pain of facing the past. In short, he is being avoidant. It's too much for him to face. If he was to spend any time with Colin or to live at Misselthwaite, where his wife died, he would have to face those traumas and memories, and he can't do it. This avoidance sort of becomes a safe haven for him. He knows that if he can just stay at this stage, he will never have to face the pain of reliving what happened. He knows that if he forms a deep bond with his son, there's a chance that he will lose him, and he can't handle that. Instead, he feels safer just avoiding it all. And I think there's also something to be said here for people believing that if I move on, then I feel like I'm dismissing the importance of what happened, or that I would be disrespecting the level of trauma and how much I loved this person that I lost. If I was to move on and try to be happy, I would somehow be disrespecting their memory. And I think this also plays into what Lord Craven is going through. But this isn't a healthy or realistic solution, as we know. We've all experienced grief, and we all know it's a terrible and painful road. It comes with many ups and downs, and healing is not linear. But at any point, getting stuck in our grief only harms us. And we get the other side of the story as well. Colin desperately wants to see his father. He wants to be loved, as we all do. He knows that each day goes by and he gets older, and he misses out on moments that could have been shared together. And although it would still be painful, they could grieve his mother together. Now, toward the end of the book, we get this really interesting healing arc for Lord Craven. He is still abroad in Europe, and he's spending time out in the mountains alone, as he does. And he suddenly starts to feel this mental clarity. He begins to understand. And meanwhile, back at home, the children are in the garden having the time of their lives, and they are doing these positive affirmations and positive thinking. Colin is well, he's walking, he cannot wait to show his father how he is healed. And Dickon's mother, Mrs. Sowerby, is witnessing all of this, and she makes bold to send a letter to Lord Craven, telling him it's time to come home. Now, on the same day where he is feeling this fog lift from his mind, and he doesn't know why, he's starting to feel this depression lift, he gets back to the hotel and he finds the letter from Mrs. Sowerby. So, of course, he comes home, sees that his son is well, and sees that Mary helped make it happen. And she did so by opening the garden. And just as the garden represents the internal healing for the children, so it does for Lord Craven. He needed his heart unlocked. He needed to turn toward love and toward the beauty that life was offering him in a healthy, happy son and niece. So this is my character analysis for Lord Craven. He shows us that grief can take a hold of and control our lives if we let it. He's completely gripped by his depression, and he becomes attached to it, as if he identifies with it or feels it's his only safe place. But when he finally opens his eyes and his heart and is able to take those last steps toward healing, he is able to be with the children who made it happen. Now, this is a character analysis here. Okay, I introduced the character. I had a thesis statement about grief and the character arc and how Lord Craven shows us that. And then I gave examples in the book. Another way you could make a character analysis about Lord Craven is to compare him with Mrs. Sowerby, because they sort of have opposite timelines and opposite experiences. Mrs. Sowerby has 12 children. She is so there for them. She's the one who's there for them. She leads them and loves them. She is not afraid. And she is the one who helps Lord Craven see what he's got and what he needs to be present for. And furthermore, she is poor and he's rich. So that you could really beautifully compare and contrast these two characters if you wanted to. So I hope you liked this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Please watch my last video about the spirituality of Frances Hodgson Burnett. Check out my links, and I will see you next time. Bye.